So next I'd invite Prue Stringer to the table. Prue, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I did put in a written submission, but I just had lots of stories that I wanted to tell to add to it. I won't get many of them done in 3 minutes.
Great.
I would like to applaud you on the climate and ecological crisis declaration that you made, but I don't see action for climate change, and that to me is the ultimate problem of our day. I would just like to remind the Council of the former Mayor of Auckland in the 60s and 70s, Dubmire Robinson, who wanted to get a rapid transit system in Auckland. He failed because it was considered too expensive. People now in Auckland say, if only we'd listened to Robbie. And I also understand that the vote was lost by one vote in the Council to get that spending in those days. So I'd like to remind you, councillors, that you would not like your legacy to be that you were the only one who voted against spending for the future for a sustainable city. So my plug in this one is for spending on active transport, on walking and cycling ways. And one of the little stories I'd like to find time to tell you is of, as a parent of children who wanted to bike to school. I live in Heathcote Valley. My son had to bike along a power road along with all the trucks from Littleton Port to get to school. I was petrified, but I let him go because you bring up your children to be independent. He did get to school, but I never forget the day about a year later when one of his friends came into my house carrying my son's bike helmet saying, "Ben has had an accident." That is one of the most awful moments for a parent to experience, and I hope some of you are parents or have had similar experiences. Luckily he survived it, but a car just turned in front of him. And we know that those of us who are cyclists will cycle more if we've got off-road cycle facilities. Look at the lockdown when so many people we met out and about just loved cycling and with their families. But, you know, with my experience, no wonder parents drive their children to school, and look at the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock clogging of the roads. But you've got to feel safe to let your children bike to school. So I would say please spend on those priorities. We want our future city to be sustainable. Please charge for parking, use the money on active transport, and I would just like to remind business owners that cyclists are customers as well. We like to go to shops. You don't need to have car parking right outside your shop. You can encourage us by having bike parking outside your shop. We will go there, we will go to cafes, we will spend our money. We will come into the city if it is attractive to us and if it is safe to bring our families into. So please remember that your legacy should be that you had decided to spend money on future-proofing our city, making it accessible for everybody, for families, for people who can't afford cars, make it expensive to bring cars into the city, and maybe also borrow money. This is the time to spend the money on facilities like off-road biking. Thank you. I had lots more stories, but I'm sorry, 3 minutes doesn't go far.
Yep, and that has filled the 3 minutes very well. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time to do that.
Thank you.
You.